Hola chicos, bienvenidos. This week we're going to talk about regular AR conjugation. We started talking about the family, so this is going to be something new. Like I've mentioned before, please be sure that you're taking notes. As you already saw from stuff we did last week, I let you use your notes on a lot of things. This time you even got to use them on the test. So, be sure that you have them somewhere, not just pictures on your phone, but either typed or stored in on paper, okay? All right, so let's get started. Vamos a empezar. Now, we're going to talk about conjugation. What does that mean? And you need to know what conjugation means because I will ask you, it will show up on a quiz, it will show up on a test. Be sure you know what this word means. When we conjugate a verb, that means we're changing the verb to reflect who is doing the action. For example, the verb hablar means to talk. If I want to say I talk, I say hablo. You talk, hablas. We talk, hablamos. P.S. For those of you who didn't do a lot of a lot with the alphabet yet, notice the H in that word is silent, so you don't pronounce the H's in Spanish. All right, so take a look at what just happened there. As you can see on the example I've got on the screen, the I talk in English, the verb doesn't change that much. We say talk, talk, talk. I talk, you talk, we talk. What changes is the pronoun. In Spanish, the verb itself changes. Now, I could add the pronouns that go with that as well. So I could say yo hablo, tú hablas, nosotros hablamos. That's still very correct. But I don't need the pronoun anymore because I cannot say tú hablo. That's bad grammar. Because the verb hablo can only mean I talk. When I say hablas, the only person that can be talking is you. Hopefully that's making a little bit of sense. Now, you may be like, okay, well, how do I make all these changes? The verb changes. How specifically does it change? Let's take a look at that. So these are your steps for conjugation. This is how I got to what you saw on the other screen. Don't forget, this is a recording, so pause it, rewind it if you need help, if I'm going too fast for you. So to keep this simple, we're going to still use the verb hablar, right? Remember, it means to talk. So the steps for conjugation are super simple. 1, you'll start with the infinitive. This is another word you need to write down. You will see this word, infinitive, on tests, on quizzes, projects, etc. An infinitive is the verb before it's conjugated, or the unconjugated verb. So notice the examples in green. Hablar, right there, you can see hablar is your infinitive. You're going to remove the ending. So get rid of the AR, okay? When you get rid of that AR, you're left with hable. That's your stem. Your verb stem is called that because we build everything else off of that. We take the verb stem and we'll add an ending on to make the correct verb that we're looking for. Now, after you've started with the infinitive, hablar, you've gotten rid of the ending, hable, and you have your stem. Now you're going to add the ending that corresponds to the person you want to say is doing the action. For example, like on the previous page, we did the example of you talk. So in this case, we would add AS to our verb stem, which leaves us with hablas, which means you talk. You'll repeat these same steps over to change for any other person who might be doing the action. All right, hopefully that made sense. Again, don't forget, you can rewind, stop, etc. if you need more time. So knowing how to do the steps for conjugation now, let's take a minute and look at what those endings are, because obviously the first 2 steps are the same, but what's going to change a lot are your endings. For the verb hablar, here are all of the endings. And notice again, the verb stem is the same, but there's a unique ending that represents each pronoun. For yo, it's o, tú, has, usted, él, and ella all share an ending. If you are a big English buff, you'll notice that these are first, second, and third person. Yo is first person, tú is second person, and then usted, él, and ella are all third person, and those are all singular. On the right hand side of the column, you have nosotros, which is we, that's first person plural, and that has the ending amos. Vosotros, which is only used in Spain but means you all, right? That second person plural has the ending habláis, and then ustedes, ellos, and ellas, third person plural, all share an ending for hablan or just an, right? So you can see the endings in purple. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. And you'd pronounce these hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, habláis, hablan. So that's how we would change the verb hablar to say for each different pronoun. Yo hablo, I talk. Tú hablas, you talk. Él habla, he talks. Ella habla, she talks. Nosotros hablamos, we talk. Vosotros habláis, you all talk. Ellos hablan, they talk. Now, again, those endings we'll use again for any other verb that ends in AR. So be sure you're writing them down. So here are your AR verb endings. Yo is going to have an O ending. Tú is always going to end in AS for a verb that ends in AR. Él, ella, usted. Again, that's third person. Remember, they're all going to share an ending for A. Nosotros and nosotras for we is going to be amos. Vosotros, vosotras, ais. Ellos, ellas, ustedes, an. And again, that's first person, second person, third person. Singular is on your left, and plural is the column on the right. Notice if you don't remember what the pronoun stands for, what it means, like yo, in parentheses, it put the meaning of the pronoun below. So yo is I, tú is you, él, he, she, etc. Again, please, please, please be sure these are in your notes because you're going to need them. In a little while, what we'll do is we'll give you a chance to practice finding verb stems and then putting endings together. Okay? All right. Be sure to give me feedback. Let me know if I talked too fast, if the video was helpful, so that I can get better at giving you guys assignments that are really, or assignments and instruction that's really going to be worthwhile and work for you.